7 days a week, 365 days.
All right, good evening, everybody. We are now live. So I'm going to call the Sanborn Regional School Board meeting to order.
All the Fremont school.
All right, fabulous. If we could stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Fabulous. Okay, so I know for our board, we have all in attendance with the exception of Ken. He is out of town on work.
Everybody for us in attendance is currently at work, and if she.
Fabulous. All right, so we'll turn it over to Jen to do the updates, and I'm going to move so that I can do it.
Oh, yeah, you mean. No, you'll have to see. You're probably watching. Probably not. I think it'll only be about.
Hi, everyone. Thank you for having me. I'm Jen Mitchison. I'm the principal at the high school. Most of you I've seen and met before. It's nice to see a familiar face too at the table.
Thank you.
I'm going to just do a little overview of how it's been going so far this year at the high school and also talk about our enrollment updates. This should come right on. And I apologize. I'm a little dealing with some sort of head cold or whatever's going around these days, made its way into my house. So I apologize. So tonight I want to talk about our enrollments, some of our course offerings that we have this year, our clubs and organizations, athletics, and our cell phone policy. So I thought I'd start off. We're in the midst of homecoming week. So lots of fun around here. And for the Spirit Week days, Monday was a lot of fun with our airport fit days. So some people did take it to the flight attendant pilot level, which was a lot of fun. Others just wore really comfortable clothes as you would on an airplane. Pink Out was really great. And Maya's going to mention a little bit more about the money that was raised this year and the cause that the students wanted to focus on for the fundraiser for the week. Today was Fire and Ice, so we saw a lot of Heat Miser and the Mr. Freeze guy and all kinds of fun costumes. So I'm excited to see what tomorrow will bring with Meme Day. And then, of course, we have Color Day on Friday. So it's been a lot of fun, and we're looking forward to the rest of the week. And like I said, Maya's going to sort of go into detail with some more of what's ahead. Hasn't been a whole lot going on just yet. We're only a little over a month in, but we did already have our college and career fair. So that top picture, and we had over 35 different colleges from all over New England, 2-year, 4-year, a lot of technical schools, and some trade companies that will hire students right out of high school and do some programs. So that was really awesome. The students got to enjoy getting some swag and learning about what they might do post high school. We had a great first day, had some fun taking some photos with staff. And then our Key Club kids are off and running with the work that they do, and through some donations went to fill up our food pantry here as part of the New Hampshire Tackles Hunger. So that was really awesome. Our current enrollments. So as you'll see, I'll just read you like sort of the grade level breakdown, and the town breakdown is by grade level also, but I'll just do the big ones at the bottom per town. So we have total 184 students from Kingston, 135 from Newton, 135 from Fremont, and our total enrollment currently is 455 students. So we have still been able to offer some really great opportunities. And I linked, and I'll make sure this gets out after um, through Phyllis so that you can see this presentation. I'm happy to post it. And it has our program of studies. So I'm not going to bore you with all of the information. It's a pretty lengthy document, but the link is right here. So you can open it. You can look at graduation requirements, different opportunities and programs. But here's just a basic breakdown. We have 6 different art courses, 10 in our business tech, 10 in our career tech, which is like wood shop, welding, automotive, English. And I'll tell you, last year was the first year we ran our English for trades and industry, which went really well. And that's become sort of a fan favorite for a lot of our students. And it's about really building literacy skills that students will need in the trade world. So from writing a resume to thinking about what it would look like to do a business plan, a proposal, talking to customers, different types of communications. So a lot of our students have really benefited and enjoyed taking that. We also added a couple different math classes that are new this year, and that also offer college credit. So that mathematical modeling is another addition to an advanced math class, which is going well so far. Music, we're still going strong. We have about 40 students in our band, and the chorus has grown. It has tripled in the years since Mr. Harrington jumped on board. So he's got a healthy group also. I think he's got about 20 students that are now in the chorus. So that's been really great. We have currently 69 students are taking classes over at SST, and that is 2 periods of the day. They go over there. Most of our students go either in the mid session or the afternoon session. So, and then for our NECC students who are taking classes over at Northern Essex, we have 21 students, and that's all in the afternoon. Some of those classes are online, so some of those students can still physically be in our building and take those online. Right now, we have 100 students taking an extended learning opportunity or an internship during the current semester. Maya is one such student. So the ELO is really student driven. So Maya wanted to do something around leadership. So she and I got together, and so she's doing her ELO with me, and we're doing a lot around project management and how to create budgets and the sort of management side of being a principal. So it's been fun. I will pull up this link. This is a current link of all of our clubs and organizations. And so here you'll find all of the staff members who are overseeing the clubs are linked here. So it's quick to, if you have questions or want to email someone. It has all of our sports listed. And then down here, you can take a look at the different clubs that we offer. The staff member who is the advisor. Some of them have websites or additional information that you can read about that are also included on this document. And it goes down to the second page. So lots of opportunities for our students. And it's going really well so far. I'll come back over here. Okay. So speaking of athletics, currently we have 8 teams competing in NHIAA sports. And we also, this is our second year with a club volleyball team, and those numbers doubled in the past year. So we're going to continue exploring opportunities for students. And one may be solidifying volleyball as a sport here. Would like to get there. So we're working on it. We have 168 student athletes participating, which is such a great number. If you consider, like I said, we have 455 total students right now. So a real good number of our kids are involved. We're hoping for a full move to Division III for next year. Dr. Dawson and I will be reaching out to the NHIAA and going through the process to petition us so that we're straight Division III, where we should be at this point. So stay tuned. Cross country has some really good numbers, girls soccer, and as you can see there, 30 students involved in the girls volleyball team, which is great. And here's some pictures, a little bit of everything. Okay. So for our cell phone policy, so this is the second year that we started the year asking students to enter a classroom and put their phone in pouches. And it's nice too because it's a 612. We're doing it across the entire building. So the expectation is that all teachers are having students put their phones in the pouches for the duration of class. Students are not permitted to have their phone in the hallway or the bathroom if it's during an academic class. So if a student uses the bathroom, their phone doesn't go with them from the pouch. They use the bathroom, and they return. We have started after school detention this year as another mode to help with, discipline issues as they arise, but specifically with the cell phone issues. So if students are not complying with what we're asking them to do, they'll be issued an after school detention. Their phone will be brought to the office, and a parent has to come get the phone. We're really trying to crack down. We can connect a lot of our discipline incidents from the past 5 years to cell phone issues, whether it's kids using them at school or at home. We obviously can't control that, but while the kids are here, we're really trying to control what we can, and that is that their phones are completely away. So far, it's been going well. I had sent out a questionnaire to staff at the end of last year, and about 75% of staff felt that it did go very well last year, which I thought was a really healthy number for us to continue this path rather than considering something even more restrictive, like the yonder pouches or lockers, or utilizing something else that would really have the phone not be on a student or accessible at all. But like I said, we're still in a good place, I think. We'll see how it goes. Students can still use their phones in between classes. They can use their phones in the caf during lunch. So we're still trying to give them some time to be responsible and respectful and safe when they're using their phones. So we'll just see, monitor it, collect our data, and see if we need to consider anything else. So that was all I had. But I am going to turn it right over to Dawn, or do you have to? Yep.
So I would like to request that we move agenda item 9 to now, so that Maya can give us her update so you can all hear it before you adjourn and head to your meeting. I just thought it would be nice for you guys to hear her update as well. So if everybody's okay with that. All right, great. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. So as you guys all know now, homecoming has been this week. The big day is Saturday, where we're gonna start with our parade. It starts at 8:15. All members of the community are welcome to come and line the streets to help support all the grades. New this year, I've asked different clubs if they would also like to walk in the parade to get more participation between like the whole school. Then the games kick off with girls soccer starting at 10, field hockey at 11, boys soccer at 12, and then the football game starts at 1. We will also be having our annual food tents. New this year, we've added some sort of carnival game, such as like a dunk tank. There's some pretty exciting people that should be going in it, so stay tuned. I tried so hard to get Mr. Ambrose, so hard.
Could you imagine the money that,
I know, like, don't you want to support student council?
Gotcha.
I'd ask for a better commitment.
Also, in continuation with our Pink Out Day, we decided as a student council to raise funds for the Beyond the Rainbow Fund, located at Exeter Hospital, that basically goes to cancer patients and their families to help cover some of the costs. So we will be continuing to collect donations all through homecoming day at the food tents, the concession stand, and probably at the football game, like when you enter. That's pretty much all. Oh, the dance starts at 6:30 and goes till 9:30. But that's basically all we have for today.
Great. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And now you can go work on your float.
Well, I have to get my water bill, please.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll get that moving too. We can definitely move up. So I think that concludes the joint part of the meeting. So I know, I think you guys are going to meet.
You don't have, was there public comment for it? I mean,
We moved that because we have some agenda items that public comment would be for, so we didn't want.
oh, okay. I didn't know if there was a separate public comment for this or not. I don't. Doesn't matter.
I think we're good.
Okay.
Yeah.
Great.
So,
Cool. All right.
all right.
We're gonna move to another room.
All right.
Do we get to?
Unless you want us to both have the meeting simultaneously, but
I don't think that would be a lot of fun.
I will
I
say,
think that would make it very confusing.
thank you for hosting. We appreciate that. Miss Mitchinson, thank you for your update. Maya, thank you for your update. I definitely remember going in the dunk tank.
Maybe you should come back and do it again.
I think you should.
I didn't say it was a positive memory. But I remember doing it.
So what are you doing on Saturday? What are you saying?
I got football games for my kids. I was already asked to judge the floats and I couldn't do it. Yeah.
They have a float to work on their float.
Absolutely.
It's true.
All right, so I'm going to make another request of the board. I'm going to
Yes, you
request
got it.
that we move 10.1 up to also now so that Maya can get moving on her float that she would really love to go work on. Hey, the floats are really important. That was like my favorite part when I was here at Sanborn, was working on the floats. So, you know, I loved the volcano last year. That was really, really, really cool. I'm sure it did. I am sure it did. All right. Well, then we will transition over to 10.1 Waterville Valley
Some of us
overnight
like,
field trip.
Yeah, Heather, come.
If
join
you
me.
guys want to move over there, by all means, go ahead, spread out a little bit, like sit wherever you would like.
Click, you can do that.
Yeah.
Like,
changes.
I thought you had your opening, didn't you? The dunk tank thing.
I think everybody thought there was an opening there with the dunk tank.
There is no opening.
Come on.
Not happening.
Is Jen doing it?
I don't know. I hope so. She'd raise a lot of money. I'll go pay and dunk her. You know, I'll just donate some money. How's that? I'll do an anti-dunk tank donation. How's that? You hear that, Rick? I'm gonna make a donation. I'm gonna do the anti-dunk tank donation.
If that's what you feel is appropriate.
It is. I will help.
Whenever you are ready, I think they're standing behind you watching.
Okay.
Oh, it's like- Ready? Yes.
Okay. Hi, my name's Summer Campbell. I'm sorry if I'm sweaty. I just came from field hockey practice. So it's just been running. So I'm here for the annual Waterville Valley presentation. It's an overnight field trip. Thank you. It's an overnight field trip conference that includes all the student councils in the area. It begins at 10:30 a.m. on Thursday, November 7th, and it ends at 3:30 p.m. on Friday, November 8th. This conference takes place at Waterville Valley Conference Center, and I think we're staying at the Black Bear Lodge. So in the conference, we'll have workshops that help us interact and understand how to be a leader, and we'll have the chance to meet and interact with other student council members from across the state. This helps us bring like connections from other student councils, and maybe during events we can work together and learn how to bring different schools together across the state. So at the conference, we have two keynote speakers, and one will be Judson LaPally, and he's a nationally recognized speaker for all of our students, who is known for his energy and ability to motivate students. Additionally, Doug Erickson, former Minnesota Executive Director, will be joining us for keynotes and workshops, including one specifically for advisors. So basically, these people come and they tell us, this is how you can be a better student council, this is how you can be a better student, and this is how you can help your community. And then we bring that back and help the schools. So our cost is each student will be paying $200 to stay in the lodge. So that's 4 to 6 students per room. They each have their own bed. And if they want their own room or their own bed, less than 4 students in a room, it will cost $50 additionally. This does not include transportation costs, such as buses, but the cost of the 200 includes the hotel room, conference events, like the speakers, 2 lunches, 2 dinners, and entertainment during, so that we'll have like, there's a dance, there's karaoke and that sort of thing. And I think that's it. Oh, and the bus we're splitting with Timberlane, so that's all it costs.
It's like super fun. We go every year. Any questions?
Maya, you have clearly been coached by Principal Mitchison. That was awesome. That's exactly what she would say.
Or my father.
Oh, yeah.
Couple of good role models there. I think this is great. I love that you guys do this every year. And I think it's a great experience for everybody to go to. So I'm good to support this.
I agree. I'm all for student leadership and student growth. So thank you.
All right, so do I have a motion?
I make a motion to approve the overnight Waterville Valley Student Council Ball.
Second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Fabulous. All right. Thank you so
fun.
much.
Thank
Go
you,
have
Summer.
fun.
Thank you,
Go
Maya.
on those floats. I can't wait to see them. All right, we should turn the light back on.
Yeah, I got you.
And, there we go. I can see better now.
I agree with that.
Oh, yeah.
It's not you or anything.
No,
Just-
I
Thank
think
you,
it's,
Mrs.
I think
Mitchison.
it's me. I think you're just trying to move.
No, we're just doing great,
That's funny.
powering through it. You're a true champion.
She's
All right. So getting back to,
rest up.
Thank you.
yes, thank you, Jen.
Bye, Jen. Feel better.
Thanks.
So getting back to the agenda as it's written, do I have any action on the minutes for September 4th, 2024?
I make a motion to approve the minutes from September 4th, 2024.
Second.
All right, any discussion? All in favor? Unanimous. Thank you. Okay, manifest documents, I think are going around. Superintendent Ambrose, nominations, resignation.
Thank you. I have 2 resignations. Oh, is it? Yeah. One is Marissa Manarini, the special education school counselor, and Marie Monday, our accountant and payroll person.
That's resignations.
Yes.
Okay.
All
I
right,
accept with regrets.
Thank you.
Motion to accept with regrets.
I do want to just mention that Marie Monday worked for us for 20 plus years and has done a fantastic job. I don't usually comment on these, but I think someone who's served the community for that long with she's done a very meticulous job. And so we're very grateful for her and we're very happy for her. She accepted a position as an assistant BA. So she moved up in her career. So we wish her well.
Second.
okay. Phyllis can decide who got that one first. All in favor? Unanimous, thank you.
And for nominations, we have a long-term substitute for STEAM at Bakey, Abby Vaccaro, and Jay Menzie, physical education teacher at the high school. Sorry, I did them backwards, but
That's why I was. confused.
thank you. I apologize.
I make a motion to approve.
Second.
Micah? Unanimous, second. All right, superintendent's report.
Thank you. It's been a great start to the year. I have very much enjoyed not being a doctoral student this fall, although I missed the learning and the continuous feedback and hard work of that process. I've welcomed the opportunity to spend more time in our classrooms. So I've been to a number of classrooms and I've seen the cell phone policy that Principal Mitchison was talking about. I've seen it implemented. The kids chuckle when I walk in and put my cell phone in the pocket too and sit down and listen and model for them what we want. I also think that the professional learning communities, I've attended a number of those meetings after school, and it's great to have the principals there with the teachers talking about teaching and learning. data instruction and assessment. That is making a huge difference in terms of they're not distracted by phone calls or students that they're not getting pulled out of the meetings. They can be a part of the meetings. And so that has been an excellent change this fall. I do have the updated annual enrollment report. And I just wanted to let you all know that at the Bakey School this year, we have 272 students in grades pre-K through 2. That is down from 321 last year. So we're down 49 students at Bakey. And at the middle school, at the Memorial School, we have 240 students this year. We're down from last year, which was 261, 21 students. And we at the middle school, we have 250 this year, and we had 245 last year. So we're up 5 students. And at the high school, we have 455 students. Last year, we had 523. So that means we've decreased by 68 students. And it's important to recognize at the high school that we had a large senior class. It was the last bubble where it was a large group, and they went to college. You know, they left high school, they graduated. So the incoming freshman was very small. It was a very big swing, an unusually large swing for the high school with a graduate. Yeah, there's 92 students in the 8th grade class that came up to the freshman. It's very small. So it's just important to recognize that it was a 41 student difference in that one grade between the seniors and the freshmen. So there's the reverse of a bubble in the freshman class, but all the numbers across the district per grade are steady, except for that group. So they'll affect the enrollments until they graduate, and then it kind of stabilizes back out again. We did see approximately, it's vacillated back and forth, and it's still not settled, but roughly 70 students have gone to the Seacoast Classical Academy. And so that's important to note too. And we have not changed our staffing because we don't know which students are going to stay there. So we didn't make changes in staffing because we want to make sure for our families. What we don't want to do is reduce a teacher and move things and then have it come around that they come back to our school and we don't have enough teachers. So we're watching those numbers closely, and we want to give that another 6 months to see how it goes. So it's going to be tricky for budget recommendations because some of these numbers have gone down because of students choosing the Seacoast Classical Academy for this year. I'm not sure they'll stay. So we'll have to see how that goes, but I'll talk to you more about that at the first meeting in November when we come forward with our budget recommendation. And just a reminder to everyone in the budget process, the budget is based on students primarily, right? So our biggest piece of our budget is the teaching staff, the staff that works directly with students. The second part is our facilities. So we have facilities that we have to run. If there's less students in one building, the facility still has to be paid for, and that's where cost per pupil gets tricky. The smaller you are, the more it costs per pupil. So, all right, that's pretty much what I have at this point. And I just wanted to thank everyone for their hard work. And I also just wanted to take a moment to say that Chair Dutton and I had a conversation about how much time, energy, and effort you all have put in as a board. This last 9-10 months has been really challenging between negotiating a collective bargaining agreement for the professional staff, working with the Fremont community to figure out a plan for that, and just all the other things that we're dealing with. So Chair Dutton asked me to reach out and purchase each of you a nice sweatshirt. So I just wanted to say thank you. And the sweatshirts were on your chairs. We specifically timed it so that if you attend homecoming on Saturday, you could wear your fancy new Sanborn swag.
Wow.
Right.
Tom, I apologize. I was signing manifest. You did say you were going to meet the dunk tank this week?
I am unfortunately going to bypass that, but I will make a donation in hopes of never having a dunk tank again, but that's a separate topic. Thank you very much, Mr. Edelman. I appreciate that. Depends on how you define sizable. Rick, sizable is $10. I'll take care of it.
All right, thank you. And just to piggyback real quickly, seriously, this board has been absolutely amazing to work with. I mean, the amount of effort and how far above and beyond all of you have gone. Sorry. It's really stellar. I cannot tell you how much I appreciate each and every one of you. And that was, the sweatshirts were just a little something just to say thank you. But I can't I can't put into words enough how much I appreciate each and every one of you. So thank you all for everything you do. You really do.
Thank you. I think you do the heavy lifting with Tom.
But
You mean she
honestly,
tolerates me calling her? I got what she meant.
Don, we
But thank
appreciate
you.
You are a tremendous chair. You've been the chair. Done a tremendous job. You have
thank you.
gone above and beyond. Board, for the faculty, the students. You are 100% committed to this school, this district. And it doesn't go unnoticed, but thank you. I'm excited to have a sweatshirt with my name on it.
I know. I was like,
Just
those
should
are
put my
people.
first name on it because
There's names.
my kids are gonna take it.
Yeah, I know. I did think about that, but you
I'm
know,
kidding,
I
I'm
was like,
kidding.
Well, you know, we'll go last.
I thought the same
Did
thing.
you not see that? I mean, come on.
Well, the good thing is there's only one Ingham that it would fit in my house. And
Yeah.
Thank
All
you.
right, well, no,
I-
thank you all.
I just want to say thank you for the sweatshirt. My name is spelled wrong, but it's pretty close. So I just want to, no, I'm joking.
Ow. That was ridiculous. You have no.
Don't do that to Phyllis.
I'm not going to cry. But I will say thank you. I appreciate it. You've been in great chair. I can always count on you, and you've done a great job leading this board. And your care and compassion for everybody in the district is admirable.
I concur.
Thank you, Rick. All right, so subcommittee reports. Does anyone have a subcommittee report they would like to share tonight?
I'll have one at our next meeting.
Fabulous.
Yeah, I'll have one. So finance and facilities met this evening. A long one with a lot of great topics, covering everything from inflation to a new electricity contract that the business administrator put a lot of work into and is going to save the district just shy of $200,000 over the next 3 years. And so a lot of work is being done to be wise stewards of taxpayer dollars. And so kudos to our new BA for that. He's really jumped in with both feet. We also covered a bunch of smaller items. We've touched on a very large item in our capital improvement plan as the district buildings and facilities age. Finance and facilities were moved together as subcommittees because they are intrinsically tied as we look at what it takes to maintain our facilities and then being responsible with the finances and how we do that. It can't be a willy-nilly when things pop up, you just fix it. There needs to be a plan. And so previous subcommittees have done a nice job beginning to develop this, and we continue to refine this. And that was a big part of tonight's meeting is a long-term projection of how we maintain our facilities, not only for the taxpayers, but also for the students and the teachers and the admin that use those facilities, and making sure that we have the best facilities possible, being the most fiscally responsible for the district that we can. That's a
Thank
readout
you
from
so
us.
much.
Yep.
Great job on that electricity contract. Thank you. Right. Anyone else? All right. We did Maya's report already. Okay, acceptance of donation, Kingston Thrift Store.
Expecting that a little bit later. Okay.
Well, we're just moving around.
We're just
Yeah, we're cooking.
cooking right now.
All right. So I shared a little memo with you that I put together. This summer, Mary Fiddler, chairman of the Kingston Community Thrift Store, contacted us about making a donation to Sanborn Regional High School for a one-time scholarship for this coming spring. And this is the message. Obviously, I met with her in person, but then she sent a letter with the donation later in the summer. And her message to us or to you was the Kingston Community Thrift Store would like to donate $5,000 in scholarships to you. We would like the scholarships to go to 5 students at $1,000 each. Please give 1 to a student attending a trade school and 1 to someone interested in a medical field. The other 3 to any deserving student. Thank you, Mary Fiddler. And certainly, we would like the board to accept this donation from Kingston Community Thrift Store, and we'd be happy to send along a thank you for their donation to our students.
Fabulous.
I make a motion to accept the $5,000 donation and scholarships from the Kingston Community Store donation. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
All right, great. That was Micah.
And for anybody wondering, because I'm new to this end of the scholarships, these local scholarships will be announced in February. So if people are interested, their students will find out about how to apply in February. So.
Fabulous. Thank you. All right, any discussion?
Just like to say thank you with great gratitude. That's very generous scholarship. So thank you.
Thank you.
Great. All in favor? Unanimous. Wonderful. Okay, approval of budget calendar for 20.
Yep, back in the spring, we put together a draft budget timeline, which we shared, but again, it was a draft. And then the Department of Revenue comes out with guidance towards the end of the summer, which we use to update the calendar, and then we send it off to our attorney, who reviews it and makes some additional adjustments. So based on that feedback, this is really the final budget calendar. Not going to read it line by line because some things are just, they're just dates or things that really.
I have a question after.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not going to go line by line. I'm just going to kind of hit the important dates, or the ones that might be most relevant to this group. November 7th, that's when Superintendent Ambrose presents the recommended budget to a joint meeting of both the school board and the budget committee. Skip down to,
Quick note.
yeah.
That's a Thursday, and normally our first meeting of the month is on a Wednesday. But the two chairs talked and we moved it, but to help support a $10,000 fundraiser for the
question.
for the
Yeah.
Sorry,
boosters.
I was going to
It's
get
been,
to that.
it-
I'm sorry. I just wanted them to
Okay.
know. 'Cause
Yeah.
Go ahead, Matt. Tell them about it because it's really exciting.
Yeah, so about a year ago, because obviously I was in a different role a year ago, Boosters started working on bringing the Harlem Wizards here for really a large, it wasn't just a fundraiser, one-time event. It was really a month-long fitness challenge and community event that culminates with the Wizards playing. So there's been a lot of work done over for about maybe 10 or 11 months. And at that time, this particular date was selected. Be honest, I probably should have picked up on that. I missed it. My bad. I'll own that one. But their schedule's so tight, it couldn't be moved. And based on everything that's happening at our elementary school with the fitness challenge, bringing the Wizards in, the fact that they might raise up to $10,000 for our schools, and it's going to really be a community event. We talked to Chair Dutton and Chair Hewitt from BudCom, and had the meeting moved by a date, one day. Is that essentially what you're going to say, Dr. Ambrose?
Yeah, no, I just wanted to thank everyone for supporting the kids.
Yeah.
Because it really showed that Courtney called and said, nope, we got to make this happen.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. So I just wanted to thank Courtney. Oh,
yeah,
sorry.
Courtney. it
I
was
wanted to thank Courtney Hewitt for,
Thursday for the first meeting and Wednesday for the second meeting.
yeah, wanted to thank the BudCom, everyone involved. Yep.
So what is the date of the school board one?
We'll be meeting on Thursday, November.
7th.
That's a joint meeting with the board and the BudCom. And then the following Wednesday, we'll meet with the board and the BudCom. We just normally
November 13th?
yeah, I think so. Yep. But normally we meet on the board meeting night, the first meeting, and the BudCom meeting night, the second week. We just flipped it this year to support the boosters. Thank you, Phyllis. Thank you. Yep. We were waiting for the approval tonight so that we could change the calendars.
As someone who had chaired the Harlem Wizards event eons ago, it is a lot of work, but
The right thing.
we did the right thing. And
Thank you.
it's a lot of work behind the scenes that people don't even realize. And then it is at a tremendous amount of money to the district.
Well, I don't know about you, but I just want to go.
It's
gonna be fun,
It is
Right? So I hope
super
we all go
fun.
too.
And the Wizards are like the most nicest people you will ever meet.
Cool.
It is a wonderful community event. So this
Yep.
is my plug.
Just
Go.
for the record, I like the dunk tank. I was asked if I would play basketball, and I want everyone to know I don't know how to play basketball. I'll ride my mountain bike over huge cliffs and snowboard with you anywhere, but basketball is
0 for 2.
0 for 2. I don't even know what that means. Rick. Yeah, great, whatever. I didn't do that twice. Yeah, I have to figure something else out. I'm riding in the fire truck at homecoming. I mean,
Thank you. Thank you for making that change.
That's just because you enjoy making noise.
Yeah.
especially when I see Moore and Dawn on the sideline, I go. "Last year, though."
Very loudly.
Yes.
Sorry,
All right, moving right along. So after November 7th, December 4th will be the next date. That's when the school board recommends the budget to the budget committee, who then starts deliberating on that budget the following evening. And then hopefully, and I'm part of the budget committee process, hopefully that's wrapped up by December 12th. And the budget committee approves the budget. Then we enter the holiday season. January 16th is the public hearing for the budget and warrant articles. And then after that, we move on to the deliberative session, which is, the first session of the annual school district meeting, which is on February 5th. And then it's on to voting March 11th. So those are the really big dates. A lot of the other ones are just are timelines we have to meet, whether it be posting more articles or other things. But if there are, I'll take any questions
I
on
just
the
have one
calendar.
question for you real quick. So is November 13th not listed on here because that is the BudCom side of it? Because November 13th isn't listed on this calendar.
Yep.
It goes from November 7th to November 15th and then November 26th,
Yep.
but the 13th meeting isn't on.
Double check the date.
It is the 13th. I checked,
is the
I checked
13th.
the email, but
Uh,
it's not on here.
I don't see.
The
that.
funny thing is we used last year's template.
Okay.
And so I don't know, so I'm going to pull up before we leave tonight. I'll pull up last year's template because we use the same events and key dates as last year. So I don't know if there's a reason why the BudCom is not on there. I'll double check.
But
I mean, if this is just the school board's calendar, I mean, I know we go to the budget committee. I don't know if their
I
calendar
can add it though.
has the
I'm happy to.
13th on it. I just,
yeah, those are both
Do you want-
joint meetings. So,
Right.
so we need to approve that we're having the joint meeting on the
13th.
Thursday, the first week.
Yeah.
And Wednesday, the second.
Right.
So Dom, I'm
7th and the 13th.
happy to add it if you.
Okay. It was just more of a question because I don't want
Yeah.
to approve this and then have somebody say,
Yep.
oops, we missed and we didn't have that on there.
Mhm.
So that was the only reason I was just asking for clarification
Make the motion, please. Motion to add that date.
to the calendar.
Yep.
Okay.
I
So it's
make-
November 13th.
I make a motion to add the November 13th to the budget calendar
And approve the
And-
and accept the calendar.
and accept the calendar at once amended.
Yeah.
Yep.
I didn't know I was doing the full thing.
Let's do it all at once.
Second.
Great.
Can I make one comment?
Yeah.
I just wanted to remind everyone that we are having the same process that we've done the last 2 years.
Yes.
So we're going to present the budget on the Thursday,
7th.
the 7th. And then a week later, we're going to have all the administrators come and do the round.
Mhm.
Yep.
That's been incredibly effective.
Yes.
And we don't want to lose that process, but just because the calendar details, I want the public to know that that's happening.
It's a really good process.
Any discussion? All right, all in favor? Unanimous. Thank you.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
Thank you, Matt.
All right, so we will go to first public comment. For anyone that would like to step up and speak. Okay, all right, so we will go to old business. And just a reminder, there will be a second public comment after we get through 2.1, 2.2, and 2.1. So school board goals for 24-25.
Thank you. As I know that the ISA committee had a meeting tonight that will get reported out at the next meeting. I think it's important to recognize, I've been talking with some board members and we talked about the school board goals and agreed to have them on each agenda.
Mhm.
So the administration is actively working on the NEAS process. The visit is in November,
Yes,
at the end of November, and it's a.
December. It's
Sorry.
December.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally right. Yeah. So when we do the budget process, it all collided. So thank you. It's the first week of December. The prep is all in November, which we all know there are a limited number of school days in November.
Yes.
So Christine is burning the candle at both ends and working really hard with the team. I do want to publicly thank Bob Dawson and Jen Mitchison. They have been an integral part of getting this NEASC work done, both of them. In terms of supporting the math and reading initiatives and the programs, I would like to find a time in November or December to invite Christine to come and give an update to the board about those programs, because we have a new person heading the ELA instruction component at K5, Heidi Zollman, and she's doing a great job. And I'd like you to hear about that work and what's going on. I've attended some of the PD sessions myself with the Bakey staff, and it's really helpful. So
Steve gave a great update in ISA today, so I think it would be great for the entire board.
Yeah.
yeah, okay, great. Thanks. I'm glad you agree. So I think that's really important. As far as developing the vision for the Sanborn Regional School District, I would like to ask the board for advice or feedback. I'm thinking that we should have an hour-long workshop where we talk about the vision for increasing early college or dual enrollment opportunities and exploring and developing the high school as a potential vocational center, which may or not be a possibility, but even if it can't become its own standalone vocational center, where are the guardrails for how far we can extend without overstepping the relationship with the SST?
Got it.
Right? So the overlapping part and gaps. So for example, if we could find someone to teach an electrical class here, could we do that because they don't offer it at SST?
Right.
Right. So you're right, Heather. Both? Would that be both? Overlap and gaps. And then one idea that we've had that I think is really important, there's really 3 buckets here that I want to talk to you all about and get feedback on and think about moving forward. One is, could we have an early childhood program in the district that provides childcare for our teachers? Staff retention is critical, and salaries aren't the only mechanism or lever to retain and recruit staff. If a teacher has childcare, it saves them thousands and thousands of dollars a year. So it's a huge pay raise. It really, but not physical. Yeah, it could make it, and it could be great for some of our kids.
Well, I was gonna say, and that would help a lot with our students that have ELOs that want to go into, working with children, because right now they have to travel to, the other school buildings to
Yes.
go work with the younger children. So if we had children here, especially people that are looking to work with younger children, that would really make it, really easy for them to do. And I know other places have done that and it's been very successful. So,
Thank you.
Keene State has that model. So
Mhm.
Keene State is a teacher's college.
Yep.
essentially.
Mhm.
They have an on-site childcare that the early education students work at,
yes.
and the faculty can send their children there.
Well, and I wonder if there's some way to combine these things where we have a dual enrollment, not just an ELO, but a dual enrollment option with one of the community colleges.
Right.
And there's a lot to explore here, a lot of very positive energy, but a lot of work to do.
Yep.
Neko.
Yep.
Mhm. So maybe we can, it's time to start exploring this, because as we look toward the future, when Fremont leaves, we're going to have physical space. So we should capitalize on that physical space and continue to look toward meeting our goals of attracting and retaining quality staff. I think this is a really positive thing. I know for my wife and I, it was a real struggle when we were teachers for 8 years paying for childcare while teaching. It's really hard. So I think it's really important to try to figure that out. If we had childcare, we would have stayed at that job, right, for the whole time, because it would have made that much of a difference for us. Lastly, I think it's important also to recognize that I want to make sure that when Christine talks about the reading and math initiatives, that she also talks about the data. So I just want to go backwards for a second, that we talk about, we need to have regular updates about the data we have, the data we're collecting, and the data that we're using to make decisions about instruction. Right. So I'll talk with her about that. And Dawn, you and I can talk about the sequencing or when we'll do that.
Okay.
Okay.
That's fine. And I know in ICE tonight, we talked about also using the workshop model for getting the UBDs done, because instead of Christine coming in and trying to explain the UBDs and have just the ISA subcommittee review them and then bringing it to the full board for approval, it'd be helpful if everyone was there to
Great.
hear everything from the start.
Yep.
So that when it comes to the full board for approval, the board members have already heard the entire presentation. They've heard, they understand what is in everything. So we were talking about using the workshop model for some of those possibly.
Thank you. That would be incredibly helpful. I felt pulled in two directions tonight because I wanted to be there for the next item, which is when the facilities committee this evening met and had a lengthy discussion about the capital improvement plan and the possibility of a full-blown energy audit RFQ to figure out what to do with the district. So we're working really hard in facilities.
Okay.
And this goal is moving along very quickly because we need to have a conversation about the budget
Right.
and what we're going to include in the budget. So it's important for everyone to remember that the budget, the $1.9 million for this building comes off the budget. It's been paid for. So kudos to us.
I don't think it's what we're going to include. I think it's addressing what's already not in the budget, which is repair and maintenance on the buildings.
Thank you.
There's no budget line item for it.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I agree with you, Rick. That was better said.
And for additional clarification, I understand what you meant, but I don't know if the public will.
Thank you.
When you said we're moving quickly, we're not moving quickly. We have been moving methodically for a long time now. And I think what you mean by moving quickly is based on the timeline that sits in front of us. We just need to culminate all of the work that we've already done
For years.
for years. This has
Yep.
been a very methodical approach of doing this right.
And to take that even one step further, thank you for clarifying. I think that to put a finer point on it, we're at the point of letting people know what needs to move forward and what will go into the decision-making process in the budget. And we timed this carefully, knowing that the bond was coming off this year. So Matt Angel and I knew this and watched this for years, that this is the year to ask. When it coincides with the money was going into capital, the building, now we could ask the community to consider redistributing some of those funds toward the capital needs. You have to remember, this building looks nice, but it is old. It's 20 years old now. And I just wanted to publicly thank our custodians because the building looks awesome. And that's their hard work and efforts to make this building look awesome. And Jeremiah, thank you for clarifying. When I meant quickly, I meant we're ready to share it.
Yes.
Right? We're moving along, considering that we set this goal in September. We're cooking, but we've been working on it for years. So it's all good work, and the facilities committee is working hard to make sure that all that happens. Thank you, Mr. Malilla and Dan Doyle, for your hard work on the capital improvement plan, and Matt Angel.
Great.
So, all right. That kind of concludes that update for this evening, but this will be a standing agenda item, and we'll continue to do this because it helps Dawn and I to kind of stay focused on this and share it every time and talk about it. I think that the idea of a workshop model, we have a lot of UBD units to approve.
So many.
And the thing is that with the new law about parental notification, I would like to see as much information transparently posted on the website as is possible.
Yeah.
And reasonable.
Yeah. And Christine has a great plan.
Great.
She's-
All right.
She's already
I'll-
got
I'll
it.
wait.
I mean, she's ready to rock and roll. So,
All right.
hold on, I can tell you what UBD means because I have it right here. Asking.
Unit by design.
Understanding by design.
I'm sorry. That's educational jargon for,
It's understanding by design. UBD framework is an educational planning approach that emphasizes the importance of teaching for understanding and encourages educators to focus on the desired learning outcomes and design assessments and instructional strategies that align with these goals. So they literally go through everything and make sure it is aligned K through 12 in every subject area. And then every UBD, for every subject, every grade, everything will be posted. Her plan is to have everything posted right on our district website. So parents can go in and they can look at what is being worked on. So they know exactly what's going on. So it's very, very clear. So yes, I know that's confusing when you're not in
Nope,
the
I'm good.
process. Yeah.
Thank you.
thank you.
All right. So now we're going to move to policy EEA. And before we get into too much of that, I just wanted to share. I've written something down because I've spent a lot of time. I've done a lot of investigating. I've spent a lot of time on the phone with the SCA board chair. And so I could keep my thoughts straight, I wrote it down because there was a lot of conversation that happened. So after multiple conversations with the SCA board chair, I finally gathered enough, and looking into our own communications with the SEA, I finally gathered enough information to see where the wheels fell off the buggy, if you will. Robert Chase, the SEA chair, was not aware of the RSAs and policies that govern transportation, and the SEA made assumptions based on how other districts are handling their busing with charter schools. They were looking at cities, not small towns and districts like ours. So they didn't really have a clear picture on how it worked. He confirmed that because they were not aware of the RSAs and policies, that they did tell families at meetings early on that our district would provide busing for all our district families. Our board and administration were clear throughout the lease negotiations that we would only be busing K-5 students. That was reinforced by emailing the policy EEA, which references the RSAs on 2 separate occasions in June and August. And at no point did the SEA come to us prior to the school year starting with proposals or ideas for 6th through 8th students. We were of the belief that our message was clear and received by them, and it was our belief that it's our belief that they should have notified families much earlier than they did. As their chair said to me, the system allows families to have choice on where their students attend school. But by having the choice of a school that is not their assigned school, concessions may need to be made by those families. More than once, I was told by the chair that the SCA is not advocating for us to change our policy EEA. He understands how modifying our policy for students could have a large negative impact on our district students in the future. There's no way for us to know what a future board might choose to do if we modify our policy to allow K-8 students to ride together. So I want to be clear, like completely crystal clear. I feel terrible for the way that this unfolded. I know that families had to make extremely tough decisions. I wish that wasn't the case and accurate information was shared from the beginning so that those families didn't have to scramble at the last minute. I know this doesn't help the problem at all. I know it doesn't help fix the problem, but I hope that there is more clarity now on how things got to where they are. And my suggestion to those families impacted by this is to attend the next SCA board meeting, which will be Tuesday, October 8th. And the time has not been set. It's either going to be 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock at the SCA. And you speak with them about what can be done on their side to try to help out. So my personal recommendation to the board is to leave EEA as is.
No, I'm sorry, I wasn't paying. Could you repeat that?
Could I read it again? Here, how about I hand it
I'm
to
just
you?
kidding.
There was so much information. I spent about 3 hours on the phone with the SCA chair. I went through every email that our district had for communication
Yep.
with, I mean, I've
Yep.
spent a tremendous amount of time and there was,
Yeah, well, I think it's important and thanks for the
Yeah.
clarity, because I think it's important for how everything unfolded to be,
yeah.
to be known.
Well, and that's what I wanted to know was how did this all unfold?
Yep.
You know, and so that's why I dug to try and figure that out for everybody, because I thought it was really important to, because, you know, when we have families that are coming to us saying, you know, we were told this, I wanted to get to the bottom of how we got here. So, yeah, so I don't know. I've made a recommendation. I don't know how the board feels, open to discussion if anyone has anything they want to say or.
Well, I want to say thank you for all the time that you did spend going back and getting the facts, because that is how, at the last meeting, I think all of us were really, I think we all feel really bad for what happened and we wanted to know.
100%.
And when we said, hey, we want to look further into this, you took the time and you did that. I feel really bad for those families. And like you said, it doesn't fix it, but
No.
we did really look into it. And we took it on our agenda very quickly. I think we only put it on the agenda, this policy, just a few days maybe before it came out. So, we really, I think, did our due diligence to look into this. So thank you for your time and the superintendent's time.
Yeah,
too.
yeah.
I
Tom
did,
helped
I
out
did
as
speak
well.
with a lot of people.
Yep.
And I I understand now where the breakdown was on their end. But I have to say that the due diligence that I've done showed that the breakdown was not on our end.
And I had the same, I came to the same conclusion, especially after speaking with the board chair.
As one of the board members being part of the negotiation discussion, we were very clear.
Yes.
You know, I was very clear that we would not be comfortable busing, putting 6 through 8 because of if we make a decision as this board and as enrollments go down, what will, other boards might make other drastic decisions.
That maybe don't meet our philosophical beliefs and it's a
But
whole.
I know many of these families, I know them very well. But if we make a decision that for 15 students now, what could happen? How many could that be in the long run?
Right. Right. And I did explain that to their chair. And he said, I don't recommend you change your policy. He said it to me multiple times. He's like, I'm not advocating for it and I don't recommend that you change it. So,
Yeah, Heather, and we specifically said we couldn't, not that we didn't think it was a good idea. In that meeting, we said we cannot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So just want to be clear on that. Yeah, I think everybody, I wasn't on the board then, but I think I publicly said that I never would have voted to move 6th grade here. But I was here at the meeting when there was a lot of concerned parents that didn't want 6th grade in this building and certainly didn't want 6th grade on the buses. That was one of the biggest concerns.
right.
And I 100% don't think they should be.
Right.
And that's why we were so vocal.
I've appreciated, I appreciate the parents that showed up last meeting,
Absolutely.
and voiced their concerns, because without that, we would not have gained the clarity and fidelity that we did. And so for us not to make a vote last meeting and make a decision on this, we allowed for that cooling off period as well as the time to research this.
Yep.
And we gained a lot of valuable information. And I believe now we can move forward knowing what we know. It doesn't make it any easier and it doesn't make it any better. However, we're moving with accurate information.
Okay. So if there's no motions on the table, I will move to the second public comment. Would you like to, sorry, public comment? I didn't know if you'd like to.
I don't have hearing aids.
Oh, second,
A tough time.
Yeah.
sorry.
Comment.
Second public comment is so if there's anything you'd like to say, we'd welcome you to the microphone.
Since I can't hear too well.
Yeah.
So step up. Sorry.
Yeah, just state your name and town for the record. I know you did that
My name
last
is
time.
Scott Segrin. I have my guardian granddaughter that goes to the school and is in 8th grade, is unaffected by this bus as she was when she was in 6th grade, having to be on the bus with the 12 years old. And I stood here back then and voiced my opinion on that also. So I'm here, only one here. But I did have conversations with the principal who called me after the meeting, asked me where I heard the information. I definitely appreciate all the work that you went in to find out where the breakdown was. So the future breakdowns will be a lot smoother, right? It's a growing pain with the school and working with you guys on the side there. So I appreciate all the work and probably will help in the future. But I didn't know if there was a concern about having these kids with younger kids. I don't know if that was a discussion here a second ago, because I had a tough time trying to hear that.
Yeah, so the discussion was the concern for changing the policy to K-8 because it opens up future boards to make whatever changes they would like to our busing routes, to our school schedules. It could allow them to just move everybody to the same start time and put everybody on the buses together. And as of right now, the towns have been very clear that that's not something that they stand behind or support. So we're trying to make sure that if that is a conversation in the future, it is a conversation that has to go before the public, before any future board could decide to make that change. But right now.
That same process happened when sixth graders had to get on the bus with 12th graders?
Yes.
Public had to make a decision on that?
No, the public.
Public got to voice their opinion.
I didn't have a choice.
The public got to voice their opinion. And that's what would happen if that was to come up again for K through 8. It would be an agenda item. It would be publicly noticed, and the community members would have a chance to come and speak and give their opinion on what they feel is the right thing to do for the district moving forward. And we can't speak for what a future board might want to do or try to do. So we're just trying to say right now, this is where we know our families, our community members are at, because that's what we've heard them tell us. So we're going to stick with what the concerns that we've heard, not all that long ago. And a future board, if they want to try to change something, then they can go and they can receive, community feedback and take that into consideration before making that happen.
We also can't speak for past boards.
And we can't speak for past boards because the majority of this board wasn't here when that happened. So it was a very different dynamic on the board back then than it is right now.
Right, so we have, there's only, I wouldn't say, I think you know the exact number, but I think it's around 15 kids that are affected by this. How many buses do you have?
Yeah,
One or two kids in these grades on a bus? It doesn't affect me as much, but I know other parents there have kids in first grade, second grade, and
that's why.
7th and 8th grade.
Yes, and that's why I went to the extent of reaching out and finding out where the breakdown happened, because we were very clear throughout our contact, our communication with the SEA that would not be a possibility, and the breakdown was definitely on their side from everything that I spoke with him about. So I really would recommend you go to that SCA board meeting that's next week. It's on Tuesday, and you bring your concerns to them. It's going to be, they haven't determined, it's either going to be 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock. They're going to post it once they have that time set, and it's going to be right at the SCA, and they can hopefully try to work with those families to figure something out.
So your recommendation is not to change the rule, and these 15 kids are affected,
Correct.
will continue to be affected.
Correct.
And these 15 parents who are paying over $10,000 to $12,000 a year for taxes that are paying for the school system and paying for these buses, you're going to segregate those 15 kids, and those families that suffer the most, the ones that have young kids and older kids.
Scott, I just want to make sure you understand public comment is 3 minutes and you've exceeded your 3 minutes. I will call you and talk with you. But the answer to your question, to be fair and honest, Scott, is that yes, the parents who made the choice to go to the SCA made the choice to go to the SCA. The busing is not provided. I'm sorry. Really, I am. And I've talked to you at length for many, many conversations about this. So I appreciate your input. Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thanks for coming, Scott. Yeah,
Thank you for coming.
thanks for coming. Yep,
Thank
appreciate it.
you.
Yep.
Okay. All right. We're already here. Next meeting agenda.
Did we vote? Do
We
have-
didn't, if we're not making any changes, we don't need to make a vote.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't sure. If we
Yeah, nobody made a motion to make a change to the policy, so we don't have to vote.
Okay.
Okay, so the next Sanborn Regional School Board meeting will be a joint meeting with the Budget Committee held on Thursday, November 7th, 2024 at 6 p.m. in the library at the Sanborn Regional High School. The next Budget Committee meeting will be held on Thursday, October 24th, 2024 at 7 p.m. in the Sanborn Regional High School Library. Would someone like to call us into non-public?
I make a motion to move us into non-public RSA 91-A ;3 2 BCK.
Second.
All right, roll call in. Jeremiah,
Yes.
Rick,
Yes.
Maura,
Yes.
Micah,
Yes.
Heather,
Yes.
and myself, yes. All right.